you want to be a tuber? Do you want to be able to select a topic and just ad-lib it, do a decent job at it? I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to hear and see how to do that. So stand by. Don't touch that dial. Welcome. This is Richard Nikoley, freetheanimal.com, a 19-year-old blog with over 5,000 articles written and published by me on everything. I'm not a single issue guy at all, neither as a blogger or now a tuber. Alright, so let's get right to it. I'm wearing my readers, but I haven't even brought up the app yet. I'm going to bring up an app called Swipe to Unlock vidIQ. Log me in. So, as I explained in the last video, what it does, saved ideas. Alright, just excuse the... Alright, here we go. I will read them. These are the ones out of the AI. I get 3 AI YouTube or video ideas every day, and I can save them or I can cancel. Here they are. Who suffers the most as a result of the wealth gap? New research shows the #1 influence on whether a woman. Okay, so I guess you have to complete the blank. How much truth can you handle? What is going on in the world? Now, of those 3, who suffers the most as a result of the wealth gap? New research shows the #1 influence on whether a woman, complete the thing and then talk about it. How much truth can you handle? What is going on in the world? Okay, so opportunity to see how much you know about Richard Nikoley. So guess which one I'm going to do, and I'll be back after I get everything situated for this. All right. Okay, I'm back, and if you guessed the third one, how much truth can you handle? What is going on in the world? You would be right. I mean, the other 2 I could work with, but I'm just going to pick the easiest, most obvious one. So let's it's a 2-question thing as a title. So let's the first one is a rather brief answer. How much truth can you handle? Well, if you're talking about global society, it doesn't matter which culture, and it doesn't matter which ideology. Pick any culture in the world: Christian, Buddhist, Judaism, Muslim, atheist as ideologies, or American culture versus European culture versus Asian culture, versus Hispanic, South American culture. The truth tolerance is dismal. A Few Good Men, Tom Cruise to Jack Nicholson, or Lieutenant, U.S. Navy JAG Lieutenant Tom Cruise to Marine Corps Colonel Jack Nicholson. You can't, or now it's the other way around, Nicholson to Cruise. You can't handle the truth. Cruise says he wants the truth. Well, it's a court of law. Maybe he does. But Nicholson is right. You can't handle the truth. Because all of society, every culture, every ideology, lives in some level of cognitive dissonance, and it's extreme. COVID taught us that, learned the lesson. And the lesson is, as far as I can see, in this moment, in this short moment of time where you get maybe 60, 70, 80 years on average to experience the planet and society, if you're an honest person of integrity, a truth seeker, a truth integrator, a dot connector, a synthesizer, you will be surely disappointed. I certainly am. There's no hope in my lifetime. Fuck all hope. Fuck all hope. If it was more like 60-40 of people who can't handle the truth to those who, I'd say, that's gonna keep moving, right? But what we've found is that, you know, and like I said, the last almost 3 years now of COVIDiocy, where the meaning has changed 180 degrees. Now it's the ones still holding to the narrative that are the COVIDiots. So that's shown that upwards of 95%, 9 out of 10 people who cannot handle the truth. Like I said, culture doesn't matter. National borders don't matter. Geography doesn't matter. Ideology and religion don't matter. None of it matters. Whisper sweet nothings in my ear. What does that mean? It means lie to me. Lie to me. Does people want to be lied to? People want to cloister and comfort themselves with silly little narratives. It's called a worldview. And, you know, most famous for that is religion. But look at the damn libertarians. Look at the atheists. Look at the PhD class, the elite class, right? They're so deluded as to believe in this, you know, green, new world order, climate change. We're gonna be able to fix this. Germany, we can shut down all of our nuclear power plants and use renewable wind and solar. I mean, did you know Germans were that fucking stupid? I mean, literally, fucking dumb as doornails, fucking moronic stupid. Germans, you. And it may not be you individually, but certainly collectively, you're a democratic society. So that means that well over half of you need to be fucking stupid to have the government that you have in place. I mean, it's insane, right? What's going on in the world? Well, look at the energy prices in Europe. I mean, it's like it's devastation on a World War II scale without the infrastructure destruction. But of the 3 that they're shutting down now, they're going to demolish 1 and basically mothball 2. Well, why are they mothballing them if this is so certain, right? So see what in their deluded minds, they think, billions of people on the planet, we can just take a temporary break from all that food and shelter and shelter from the cold, from bitter cold, pesky little reality, and the hardship will just drive people. Yeah. At the cost of a lot of deaths, you know. I cut this out of a video because yesterday because it was too long, but let me revisit it. And that is, you know, in Thailand, there's a very lot of things that are kind of the same thing my ex-wife Beatrice and I used to talk about. She's of, you know, Hispanic descent, specifically Mexican, right? And even she laughs, you know, about the Mexican culture, which she called a mañana culture, you know, tomorrow is putting stuff out. There's a good reason for that, and it's somewhat the same here in Thailand. Is when you live in a warm tropical thing where you have no risk of dying from exposure to the cold, the cold, and we're well equipped to handle heat. You know, if you're not a granny in Paris who closes all the windows in the summer and doesn't even have so much as a fan, you know, it's amazing how many old folks die during heat waves in Paris. Google it. When you can pick fruit from the trees, catch fish from the ocean, and all kinds of other sources of food that persist in tropical areas, and it's never that cold. I mean, here in Thailand, the worst I've ever seen it is like 16 Celsius, which is like 60s, and that's up north in Chiang Mai. So down here in Phuket, you know, 20 is a cold day, and that's like ideal. It's like upper 70s, I believe. I'm just winging it. Anyway, but so that's why these are like underdeveloped or developing countries, which is compared to what? Industrialized, developed countries. Why are they industrialized and developed? Fucking cold, that's why. Freezing to death is the mother of invention, right? But we've lost that over the centuries, and now it's just now it's fashionable to fly around in your private jet to the 5-star suite you've rented somewhere, basking in, you know, warm rooms and cool pools and nice steam rooms and saunas, right? Room service at your beck and call, right? And from your phone, your quote smart unquote phone, bemoan all of the technology and comfort in the world, right? It's so transparent. It's so transparent. What is it? It's so you see right through it. Yeah, right. Yet so few don't. And you know, on the left. But you can also do this for the people on the right. You know, I remember 1994 very well. So after Clinton's first 2 years in office, midterm elections, and the Democrats got routed by the Republicans. Lost tons of seats in the House and a good number in the Senate. And I think the House is almost close to a supermajority, like being able to override vetoes. But yeah, House and Senate had really, you know, unequivocal control, right? Republicans come out with their contract with America, which was dubbed by some on the left as the contract on America, which I thought was clever at the time. So it's funny how you can change one little word like that and, you know, provide a whole new meaning. But so What's their what's the Republicans' first item on their agenda after winning all this? I'm gonna stop walking. Prayer in schools. That's what it was. Prayer in schools. Are you fucking kidding me? You really need to say nothing more about the stupid party, Republicans. Remember, I'm talking American politics here. But the thing is, let me don't sidetrack. Let me finish this and I'll get back to that. But you know, Republicans are the stupid party, Democrats are the evil party. I've been saying that for 2 decades, 3 decades maybe. Prayer in schools. Really. Not, you know, move Social Security into private, you know, equity and income funds, you know, bonds, whatever somebody wants to manage themselves. I mentioned in the last video that I put somewhere like 200 to 300K in Social Security since I was 9 years old. What are the Republicans doing about that? Stealing money from children, right? Fuck all. That's what's going on in the world, is the Republicans never saw a victory that they didn't immediately turn into a defeat. They're so fucking stupid. I mean, fucking stupid. All right? And that's what religion does to your head. I mean, fine to have it as some sort of narrative. I mean, Santa Claus delights children, right? So why not keep it? Pretty cool. I liked it. But then you grow up and get a mind, right? So, you know, it's driven by base ideology. I'll give you an example. There's this guy, I read his newsletter every fucking day. It's like my favorite, Jeff Childers, I don't know. He's a Florida lawyer, and he started doing a thing called Coffee and COVID newsletter. Just search it. He's on Substack. Childers Coffee and COVID. You'll find it. I mean, he's smart as unbelievable with an amazing vocabulary. And then there's this story about the Israelites or Jews building some sort of rail transportation, and he opined that that might be the sign that they're gonna rebuild the temple, which is a sign of the end times as prophesied in Revelation. Are you fucking kidding me? The end times, the rapture. You can't make this shit up. And they make fun of other morons. Look, I like religion. I understand its necessity, right? But there seems to be some people in the world, and you find it more here in a Buddhist culture. They don't really literally believe it. They don't believe there's some Buddha in the sky who's gonna come again, you know, or who was killed and rose from the dead 3 days later, and by that act somehow saved all of depraved mankind, yada yada, etc., etc. Yet supposed smart people believe that literally in the hundreds of millions. So, to revisit the first question, how much truth can you handle? I think that was it, wasn't it? Not a fuck of a lot. Not a fuck of a lot. What's going on in the world? Well, I mean, in the most general terms, it is the comeuppance, the ramifications for an inability to handle the truth. Now, it used to be that before mass transportation and communication, you know, you could live your life perfectly well in some Swiss village or a jungle or a beach or something, and never even know anything about the rest of the world. Have your family and social circle. It really didn't matter what you believed, right? Didn't matter your tolerance or intolerance for the truth, right? And I bet you that primitive people had a high degree of tolerance for the truth out of necessity, because they couldn't rely on vast numbers of other people to take from, as you do in a modern democracy. This is why, for example, that all major cities are highly blue and socialist all over the world. Why? Because that's where parasites go to congregate, right? It's good pickings. Leftist shitholes with plenty of opportunities to parasitize other people, right? Where do you find the people who can handle the truth better, at least on a practical level? You know, not even in the suburbs, rural. I did a presentation at Harvard Law School. That's who sponsored it or housed it, I guess, provided the venue for AHS 2013, Ancestral Health Society. My God, that's running up on 10 years ago. And I did my presentation was sociology and paleo-epistemology or something like that. Anyway, the theme of it is what is the quality of your knowledge? So I juxtaposed modern man with its Bibles, Torahs, and Qurans, and actually the Confucius stuff isn't so bad. It's pretty practical, you know. So is Buddhist stuff. It actually is pretty practical. It's kind of more just, you know, it's kind of why I like Thailand and Buddhist culture. It's kind of more just golden rule type stuff, as opposed to you're a sinner, you're evil, you need to do what we say because we're the priests on high, right? Either self-appointed or appointed by others, but the whole point of that is authority, right? To be a figure of authority. And going and getting an education, a PhD, doesn't help. It's just more of the same, right? Unquestioned authority, yada yada, so on and so forth. So, but if you look at paleo man, you look at primitive societies, right? They can't ignore shit or they die. I mean, to put a wide stroke on it, you can give 1,000 examples. I'll link that presentation. 17 minutes, you can watch it if you want. So I don't know what else is there to say. I mean, it's really hilarious. We've reached a stage now where it's so bad. The whole COVID lie was so awful. The CDC admits now, so the last few days, that they misled. They didn't mislead. They lied their fucking asses and their faces off is what they did. And they did it for political reasons, right? An institution of the US government. Listen carefully. There has never been a government of any sort in the entire history, 10,000 to 12,000 years of human civilizational history, not one that is trustworthy. So what the CDC is like, oh, we misled and we're coming clean, so keep trusting us. There was never a reason to trust you ever in the first place. There's never been a good reason to trust any government at any time since the first one. And do you know who knew this the best? The founding fathers of America. And they put in place, but they were like, well, how about if we don't have a government? Yeah, it's arguable whether one was necessary, and I would probably come down on the side of saying, yeah, this stage in human evolution and history, it's necessary, right? As bad as it's going to be, and as untrustworthy as it's going to be. So they did the best they could with all the checks and balances and limitations and powers and on and on and on. And it's completely corrupted now. I mean, if not 100%, damn close. Damn close. And having the media, the so-called mainstream media, which there's YouTubers who have more following than any of the networks, cable or broadcast. Several YouTubers individually have over 100 million followers, right? How many viewers of CNN, MSNBC, Fox put together in prime time? Huh. So, yeah, I was just, Mr. Beast is a YouTuber. I was just looking last night. Last video he did is up to 70 million views. Huh. He makes 56 million a year on his channel. I bet you that's more than Sean Hannity makes. Sean Hannity. The mainstream media. I mean, they are every bit as bad as, you know, Pravda back in the... It's official state news. In everything but name. At least back then, you know, the Nazis, the Chi-Coms, the Soviet Union were at least honest enough to admit that their stuff is official state news, propaganda, so on. But not Americans, not God and country, America. Joke. I don't hate America. I love its ideals. I love the people for the most part. At least the ones I associate with, friends and family. I'm gonna keep it turned this way because I'm at the end, 7 kilometers. So if I turn it the other way, you're gonna get wind noise. It's a bit windy today. So let me wrap this up because I'm jonesing for an Americano. We're at the point now where the narrative on the whole COVID thing is pivoting right and left. You know, you name it, the lockdowns, vaccination, you know, total all-cause mortality, and on and on and on and on. And it's government institutions that are coming clean. Why? Because of midterm elections and such, right? And then even like on other issues like immigration. So Biden is back to building Trump's wall. I guess maybe the pivot there is the Martha's Vineyard thing where Ron DeSantis hilariously and heroically flew 2 plane loads of illegal aliens, right? They are. I mean, they did not come here through legal means, so they're illegal. They're here illegally, right? Now think what you may of that, you know, I'm not one who, you know, you got to give me a good reason for a law, but whether it's legal or illegal is typically a pretty fine line, right? And so they go to Martha's Vineyard, you know, where the median price of a house is over $1 million. where Obama has his $12 million estate, like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They're oppressed. The Obamas are oppressed still. So anyway, all the elites got uppity, right? They had all these signs. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Well, what they meant is, you're welcome to invade Texas. You're welcome to invade California. You're welcome to invade any place else, Arizona, any place else on the border with Mexico. But don't you dare, we're far enough away that we could just say that, right? So they're so duplicitous, and it's so easy to see through. But they round them up and take them to a military base, right? So they're essentially now prisoners because all the whiteys and the black elites, the oppressed black elites, didn't want him there. So maybe that's why Joe is restarted Trump's wall again. You could go on and on and on. Have I done enough? Did I ad-lib that thing good enough? That's how you do it. You just pick a topic and go with it, start talking. But one thing I've learned is, again, for the practical tuber tips here, is that you gotta get better. You gotta not be lazy with the editing. So I'm up in my game on that. So whereas before I just, upload it, forget about it with all the let me think, yeah, cut that shit out. You can do jump cuts. They're kind of cool, right? Another term you should learn. Or you can do transitions, like at a chapter, like transition from one. I like the is it the crossover one or something? So one, or fade, one just fades into another. You can do the blur. There's a ton of them you can do. I like the open the circle and close the circle for the beginning of the video and the end of the video. Come on, you're gonna learn a lot, right? So this is to show you how you can just grab an idea and take it, but edit afterwards. I will be doing that. And so those of you who stay to the end, you wouldn't have wanted to watch and listen to this thing had I just uploaded it, right? And doing the editing, one last thing, doing the editing like that gives you the liberty to just fuck up without stopping the camera. You don't have to say it. See, when I was like doing it one file, I'd like say, oh shit, I'd just stop the camera because I wanted to just do the one file and upload. Stop the camera, restart it again after I gathered my thought. Now you don't have to do that. You just cut those sections out. Okay, that's it.